Greetings, brave souls. Hello and welcome. I am your GM in the Great Barrier, and we are here today with Star Trek Adventures Aegis. This is our 6th episode of the season. Another day in the service. I am glad to welcome you here as we hit what is the midpoint of our season. And we are going to go right into our adventure just after a couple small announcements. First, as I did off stream here, or rather off recording here just a moment ago, from when we're watching this, happy Captain Picard Day, or more appropriately, happy birthday to Patrick Stewart. And I would also like to note, just as a bit of business here, we have, for those joining us in the live stream today, someone has already spent something at the start. In particular, they have spent the Quatlus to provide a point of momentum to the crew. So if any of you watching in the archive ever want to do this, you can actually influence how our game works by just watching, by gaining Quatlus, our local channel point on this channel, and you can help shape the narrative, helping the players, or hindering them by giving me nice stuff. All very good things, very interesting things. I would highly recommend that at some point you drop in and give us a follow. We are actually at 99 followers, just one shy of our follower goal at present. So if you come over, you could be lucky number 100, or at least cross that milestone. I make no promises. All I can say is that if you do, you will gain free Moopsy emotes to dispatch elsewhere on Twitch. And if you subscribe, you will get the ability to shoot beams from your eyes, invoking my divine wrath to redirect it at your foes or other Twitch streamers as desired. Don't harass other Twitch streamers, but subscribe for the emotes or follow. All that. Anyway, I think that about covers all that, so we start with a cacophony of sounds, blended together and muffled, indistinct tones carrying out clipped exchanges that could almost be mistaken for words. Other sharper and harsher sounds and sensations, light pings to blaring warnings, all of it comes with a rush of emotion, tension, anxiety, a general state of alarm. No sight accompanies this sensory mess, but intuition tells you something of your surroundings, professionalism of your course of action. Somehow, there's a semblance that a will is exerted upon this sensory chaos, a means that would settle those most basic instincts you have to fight or flee, and to resist freezing. A moment of calm, a held breath, the beginning of a reasoned order beyond what you can comprehend. And then you feel it. The vivid sensation of shock. The limbs rendered rigid even as fibers burn and skin melts. The scream of every neuron in your body cries out, the uneven swirl around your antennae, and the pained gasp which can no longer escape as your lungs empty. Sheara, you awaken, albeit under much protest from your body. Your quarters are at low illumination, and the stars streak outside your window. A quick look around the room finds you alone in your quarters at their comfortably cool temperature, although you appear to have broken out in a sweat. A quick look at the ship's chronometer reads it as 10:30 hours, well past your alarms. You are not on duty at this point in the shift today, but this was a later start than you had planned. What would you like to do?
Eula's going to sit up in bed for a moment and just wipe her brow, wondering exactly what that dream was, which she can not really remember a whole much about. Clearly, some kind of nightmare. She'll take a moment to compose herself, and then she'll just get up and go to a little, I guess, touch screen on a desk and just check the duty schedule for the day.
The duty schedule shows a number of rosters. It shows, as you remember, while you are not shift right now, you do have second shift duties. I am going to start off, however, by making an immediate spend as you make note of this. Actually, before I do that, Craig, you want to be designated momentum officer today?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, because of the earlier mentioned Quatlu spend, you do start off with a point of momentum. However, you do take a trait as, or something of a narrative disadvantage here, as I spend 2 points of threat to give you the trait Tired. Staring over the screen, you find yourself just absolutely bleary-eyed and exhausted. Whatever sleep you had was not restful in the slightest, and as a consequence, you are finding yourself very drained and just barely sustaining yourself through here. All tasks will, at present, occur at an increased difficulty of 1, and it will increase as we go from scene to scene to reflect the wear of exhaustion. You may elect to ignore that increase for one scene. It will come at the cost of additional stress, however. I'll probably make it like 2 points per stress, just to give you the option.
Feeling very tired. Sheara's probably gonna just get herself a quick shower first before getting dressed.
Okay. You set about your morning routine later than planned, but you come out of the shower a little ways afterwards. You start getting your uniform after you've dried off, and you realize through the midst of this that you also have that other most unpleasant habit to do when you're not quite thinking as clearly. An expected morning log.
Of course. She'll go over and she'll probably find a data pad and just select the officer's log function and start recording. First officer's log. She'll peer at the data screen again. 23rd of June 21:55 or the 16th moon of Tolof Passad, year 463, I think. Since departing Veldonna 5, the crew seem to be in good spirits. The repairs, resupply, and leave were very welcome, at least once we got the whole life imprisonment thing sorted out. Even got a chance to go swimming, which at least justified packing my swimsuit for a 2-year space mission. Aegis is currently on course for her next destination, a star system at the end of a subspace rift. We're using a subspace stream to try and gain some more speed on the journey, though it does have the potential danger of coming close to Klingon space. To avoid a possible confrontation with them, we plan to vector away before reaching the edge of their so-called empire. Though, needless to say, I've run a few extra drills in ship-to-ship combat and repelling boarding actions. Thankfully, sensor scans have not shown any sign of Klingon vessels. Or, for that matter, Orion or Nausicaan pirates. Let's hope that continues. End log.
Okay. You step out of your quarters and with the log complete and start making your way. Well, where would you like to go first, Sheara?
I think she needs some coffee, so probably starting to head towards the mess hall.
All right. Well, you are about to make your way out the door and barely make it a few steps when you are met with the broad smile and high energy of one of the ship's most talented and slick pilots, one Chief Justice. Ah, Commander, just who I was looking for.
Morning, Chief.
Oh, morning there. You wake up on the wrong side of the bed there, Commander?
If you mean I didn't have a very good sleep, yes, that's exactly what happened.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, you know what they say, rise and grind.
I suppose so, yes.
Uh, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit, just to make sure that I had permission for something. Technically, Mr. Remora is not on shift today. I was wondering if, partway through beta shift, if wouldn't mind if I tasked him with at least a bit of training time. I want to help get him some extra drills on what maneuvers with our engines, help him get used to the tolerance of it.
That sounds a very good idea, yes. Schedule that in.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you agree. I think that he's gonna be natural at this. Matter of fact, unless he goes non-comp, depending on what the captain works out with the new order protocols, I'm sure he'd make a lovely officer. Give you a run for your money there.
Yes, he does seem to be quite diligent. Not what you'd expect from a pirate ship, so...
Quite an upstanding dude, obsessed with protocol, and whoa! As Justice is about to finish his thought, the door opens and out comes from their quarters as well. One Ensign Tally Shakaris, and they bump into each other. The chief is knocked back a little bit and actually bangs his knee up against one of the narrow bulkheads in this corridor. As you know, Commander, the Daedalus is a very cramped ship, and so...
Efficient design and ergonomics, I think that's what Starfleet like to refer to it as. Cramped. No.
Oh, I really ought to practice some evasive maneuvers there.
Your knee okay?
I'll be fine. I'll just go to sick bay.
Yeah. Hopefully it's just a bruise.
Tally for her purposes. Sorry, Chief. Sorry, Commander, and she'll hurry on down the hall. I'll be fine. Don't you worry, Commander.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be okay.
He limps away, going towards another turbo lift. You were thinking, Sheara, of going towards a different one anyway, as you knew that one of them would get you a little closer to the mess hall. Unfortunately, you realize that door is just opened and closed as Tally managed to beat you to it, apparently in a hurry to get away.
I'll just have to wait for the next one.
Yep. So, a few minutes elapse, and just a little ways later, we get you down to the mess hall.
Oh no! All the Andorians in one room. This is going to be. Oh, it's going to be an issue.
The door opens to the mess hall. The way you see things arranged, there are a few. I mean, it's reasonably populated. At the far end, the rogues, the other members of Remora's crew, are seated as they usually are, isolated from the others. You believe their names are Kesh and Rako. Also here, the twins you picked that had joined the crew before the expedition, Tally and Tafashi. I've placed Ensign Alvarez here as well. I just had him as a sort of stock character. Felix, of course, you're welcome to make any commentary on that if you want, but I won't prompt too much from that. Also here would also be Chief Fernier, who is busy investigating a wall panel and is looking at a bit of equipment, and Alonso, the Orion chef, making the rounds.
Sheara will probably go over to wherever the coffee dispensing machine is.
Right here by the wall.
Excellent. She'll go there and try to get some coffee.
It's yesterday's brew, Commander. Says Alonso.
At this point, it just has to be vaguely hot and full of caffeine. I don't care.
No, if you could wait 10 minutes, I could make a new brew.
I'm not waiting.
You sure?
I'll be awake in 10 minutes.
You push the coffee button, and initially there is no response from it.
I push the button again, impatient.
There is a sputter, and as the mug and interior of the dispenser is sprayed in some sort of black sludge.
You know what? I might have to wait for. You know what? I'll take you up on the offer on the new coffee. She'll pick up the cup and look at the sludge.
There's a bit in your coating the bottom of your cup. As you're actually about to move it, hot water just starts coming out of the dispenser, and you get a little bit of like sludge with water in the bottom of it to help it swirl around.
Sheara will sniff it.
Probably no.
It's bad.
This coffee is brought to you by Starbucks.
No, hang on a second.
Yeah. I think you need to slap an out of order thing on this machine. Chief, she'll say to Fernio.
I'm sorry there, Commander. I'll get right on that, and I'll get some replacement parts down. Sorry, we've been having some technical issues, minor systems here and there.
That's
You
all
said
right.
the boss told you to have it fixed yesterday. He kind of glares down at Fournier.
He shrugs. He's like, "Hey, I'm doing the best I can here with what we've got." From across the room, Racco calls out, "Hey, you should fix whatever makes the food around here. It's all bland and flavorless."
That turns Lotso into concrete, and like a statue slowly swiveling its head. You can hear like the creaking and crackling of stone as he turns to look.
It's the Kill Bill music just starts playing. Da, 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 da.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Racco comes up with a plate of whatever chef's special there was.
It was pancakes.
Wow.
Pancakes with Valdonin syrup.
Well, I was gonna say, more specifically, this bread-like substance is grainy, mushy, and just generally inedible.
Dang it, Rocco.
R.A.P.
He turns away from Fournier, gives a small smile, approaches like a frickin' sea monster crossing through the ocean, and just looms over Rocco. Waits a beat. Maybe you're just coming under the weather here. I mean, I imagine there's a bug going on here and there, killing your taste buds. Not that an Endorian would really know what taste buds are.
A wild smile comes over his face as he looks you right in the eye a lot, so... Oh, I think of myself as something of a connoisseur. Yeah. Shame I haven't enjoyed a single dish since I've come on this ship. Perhaps you'd like to try a bite. See what I'm talking about, he says, holding the plate up to you. Sheara, this is very clearly going to spiral out of control if this is left unchecked.
Rocco's gonna die. I'm telling you right now. You know for sure, Sheara. If you press too hard, Rocco will legitimately die.
Sheara at this point is going to step forward. I know you two are not going to start a confrontation in front of the ship's first officer. I know you two aren't this stupid. Especially the first officer, who's very tired and who hasn't had her morning coffee yet. Rocco, sit back down. You've given your feedback. Alonso, go and get me some new coffee.
Racco,
Alonso's waiting. Alonso's not moving. He's eyes are still squared away at him, at Rocco.
Rocco's one good eye looks to Alonso, looks to Sheara, looks to Alonso, and he just kind of shrugs and gives that like big wide grin of like a sort of carefree, just no matter. I've had slop other places before. I can live with it here. For now.
You just hear, well, no, it's not even mild. You just hear a crackle of knuckles being popped. But he's keeping his cool for now.
Yep. So Raka will go back and he'll continue to eat his quote-unquote inedible pancakes.
Alonso will note, is he left-handed or right-handed?
I'm going to say he's right-handed.
He probably should start learning how to do left-handed. All right. He'll watch for a solid minute before slowly turning his head over toward Sheara. I'll get you a coffee. Cream, sugar.
Much sugar as legally possible.
I'll see what I can do.
Alvarez, stay here until Rocco's finished his damn meal and has gone away. I don't want any more problems.
Sure, sir. It's clearly in his eyes that what am I supposed to do if he doesn't? He just gets ground up between the two people.
You're the security officer. You thought you figure something out.
Between a rock and a hard place there.
He's like
Yeah.
one half of Alonso. A third, maybe even.
If he's lucky.
But within a few minutes, that'll take 10 minutes. Like within like 5, he scrounges something for you.
Thanks.
It's actually pretty nice too.
Oh. Thank you. She'll start drinking it, hoping that it solves some of the issues she's currently having.
Yep, I'll say that with the coffee in hand, that will be enough to at least delay the return of the tired trait. It will stay through the rest of the scene and the next one. The hot and very sweet drink with whatever other flavors Alonso has thrown in gives you that extra bit of zing within minutes of beginning to imbibe it, and you start to feel like you can probably confront the next bit of the day.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. That being said, as the time in the time remaining in this first shift kind of ends, Raka will eventually finish his meal and he will leave. Would you like to do anything else here, or would you prefer to just go ahead to your next scene?
Probably go to the next scene.
Okay. Where would you like to go next?
So we've finished this shift, yeah?
This was the tail end of first shift.
Yeah.
We'll say that, like, you can, for narrative purposes, you can have gone around to do other things as well, but as second shift is about to get underway, you knew that, you had some free time or rather, some time where the bridge would be okay. Melnyuk, is currently senior officer there, and at the captain's and the collective command staff's urging, she has been given a few more bridge shifts just for practice. So you do have the ability, as you were planning to do, to go and do some rounds. So you could drop by sick bay,
Okay.
you could go to the engine room, you could visit other parts of the ship where you need to check in.
I think I'll go to sickbay and check in on Dr. Xantar.
Okay, so we go to the second block here, where actually Xantar would be down in technically he's in a medical lab. We can say it's adjacent to the sick bay.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
I only have the one lab set, I will admit, so that's
Only have
It's-
one lab set? Oh my god.
It's
You mean
it's
we have
early
to
days for humanity.
we have to
you know?
reuse sets?
You're not gonna believe what I did for the gym.
The budget was all used up by all of the Andorians.
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
makeup.
Too many Andorians in the scene. We had to have a whole bunch of remote controls for the antenna. Some of them started cross-wire. Oh my god!
Captain, the ship's being taken over by the Andorian.
Good, excellent.
So a little bit of time elapses. The second shift begins, and you enter the sick bay, where you see Lambeth, who is tending to just a couple of routine checkups with some of the other ops personnel. Xantar, I'll say, is coming from a section where there's some minor medical testing kits and whatnot.
Dr. Xantar.
You see Xantar is sort of leaning over what looks to be like the equivalent of a periscope and is studying something. And
Microscope, right?
yeah, microscope. Sorry,
So-
not periscope, microscope. He's looking out into space. Next to him is like a little cup of some warm liquid that is slowly bubbling slightly. And as you greet him, he looks up. Oh, good day, Commander. How are you?
Oh, I'm just okay. Could have slept better, but yeah. That's sometimes how it goes.
Any
Uh,
bad dreams? Anything like that?
I don't know. I couldn't. I think there was a bad dream. It's just sensations of something bad. Like it's one of those dreams which just went away from memory after I woke up.
Xantar will quickly bring out a medical tricord and do a quick scan of something. No, it's not that. Huh. Fair enough. Forgive me, Commander. I'm just doing a little research in regards to one of the other crew members.
What's the research on?
It is a Yeoman Bernard, an engineer.
Hmm.
You remember during our last incursion with the witches, as the locals would call them.
Veldonans, yes.
Yes, the Veldonans. Well, we had a report that he apparently, well, he's been on the roster. He's been rather lost for most of the time with the ship, but suddenly showed up, having been stuck in the innards of the ship. So I
Yeah, he
thought I'd
did.
give him a scan over, and I mostly expected him to be dealt with the radiation coming from the warp core, as he said that he'd been mostly dealing with plasma manifolds and being up in the nacelles. But for some reason, that man defies all medicine and science. He seems to suffer no ill effects, so I'm trying to study some of his cells to see some effect.
Huh. It's interesting. I mean, with all that radiation around, you'd expect some kind of effect, even if you're wearing protective gear, right?
You would think. I have studied human oncology, but most humans have a mild resistance to most radiation. You know, but he sort of like shrugs a bit as he picks up his tea and just drinks it. Uh, this human is defying everything in me. I'm not quite sure. It's gotten to a
Hmm.
point where I've even started taking the hallucinogenic tea that gets all the stress out.
You're taking hallucinogenic tea.
Oh yes, perfectly healthy. I should explain that in Denoblian culture, we see hallucinations as a good thing. Gets out all the stress. Maybe you'd like
Right.
some. Maybe you'll feel less tired. So.
No, thanks. Last time I had hallucinations, there were some very bad things. I don't want to repeat.
Fair enough.
Are you seeing hallucinations right now?
Oh no, it's already passed through my system at this point, and my body is already adapted to it. So
I appear to have gone to the bridge for some
Ah,
reason. Yeah.
maybe the fumes haven't helped.
Sand has been hallucinating to be in the lab. He's actually on the bridge.
Oh, I've been on the
Sorry
bridge
about
this whole time. I'm so sorry, Captain.
It's quite all right, Doctor. Perhaps you should go back.
Yes, good idea.
Yeah, Sheara, for whatever reason, Xantar appears to be addressing you as the captain now, and
Apologies, Commander. Was there anything that I could do for you?
No, I don't think so. Caffeine seems to have helped.
Oh, good.
So yeah, I was just doing my rounds, just checking in on everyone.
Very good. Also, Chief Justice is all right. Just a little bump on the knee.
Oh,
Nothing
good.
serious.
Good. Yeah, yeah. These bulkheads do seem to just stick out the walls at inappropriate angles.
Yes, I would make some report and hand it over to the humans staff fleet.
Yeah,
Try and
maybe just add a layer of nice foam around the metal edges or something.
Or what are those? What are those things those human call pool noodles?
Shear's just going to think for a second, and her antenna will cross in confusion.
Some form of flotation device that humans use for both
Oh,
water
right.
recreation, but also useful for wrapping around sharp corners for human younglings to not run into and damage themselves.
Okay. Well, yeah. Maybe we can find a way of manufacturing some of those and just sticking those around the ship.
I'm sure Romanov would be pleased to hear the suggestion. Xantos sort of rolls his eyes as he says this.
Oh, good. Well, I'll leave you to your study of Yeoman Bernard and
Hey,
your hallucinogenic tea.
thank you, Commander. We'll see you later then.
Yes. All right.
GM, I have a question.
Yes.
Does Sheara show signs of tiredness?
She's still running off the coffee right now, so the tired trait is not in effect right now.
Gotcha.
With that, Sheara, if you're done in sickbay, if you want to take more time in this scene block, first half of second shift, you could go elsewhere. Otherwise, you can skip ahead to the third scene block and go to the bridge.
Let's go onto the bridge.
We'll say that you go through some other rounds, just checking in systems and crew here and there, and you will eventually make your way up towards the bridge. You arrive, you see that officers are, it's mostly junior officers at present, Lieutenant Melnyuk in command, just to say, Remora, I think you got this down, Pat. Honestly, I don't know there's much more I could teach you. You just have to get a feel for the ship.
Understood. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good have I done?
I'd give you a solid 9.
Thank God.
That last point will come with style. That being said, I'm kind of impressed. I haven't heard anybody able to recite the manual so exactly.
I've had a lot of practice. Back on my home world is where I started my pilot training.
I didn't realize the Suliban. I'm sorry. I shouldn't presume like that. I had a vague sense of it. It's not that don't worry about it.
Oh, you're perfectly fine. It happened a long time ago. My family's had 3 generations on a planet called Ryza. Have you heard of it?
Oh, I feel like that sounds familiar, but I never been myself.
Beautiful. Beautiful planet. You should visit.
As you're idly conversing, Melnyuk will turn in the captain's chair and say, Commander.
Lieutenant, how's it going?
Thankfully a slow day here. All ship systems, most of them are reporting normal. Tactical systems are presently undergoing a level 3 diagnostic, and the impulse engines, Lieutenant Commander Romanov has reported a level 4 diagnostic on those being run as well. Just a few different areas where ship systems are being checked. Thankfully, sensors are working just fine. I have seen to those personally myself, and no contacts are presently on sensors.
Oh, sounds nice and quiet then.
Every time we've met with ships, I've kind of learned to meet that with a bit of trepidation, she says, walking over to the science console and relieving the ensign that's there.
We've had some bad luck with who we've met.
Yeah, I just wish that we'd stop on the other places, the actual other interesting scientific phenomena. The star systems haven't been properly mapped. I know that we're getting a sense of the space out here, but I'll stow it for now. I go over this enough with the captain as is.
That's all right. Well, I'm sure we'll get to do some weird science stuff soon.
One can hope, she says, as Mjolnir turns and starts going over some routine scans. As the shift passes, as Remora eventually leaves off for his other duties. Remora, if you want to pass a word to the commander, you can, of course, do so on the way out here, and we'll just...
I think I'm just gonna salute and then go.
Gotcha. So, Sheara, the shift starts off okay, but you begin to regret the amount of sugar that was in that coffee, because the caffeine starts wearing off slowly, but the sugar accentuates the crash and brings it on much sooner, and suddenly the tired effect is in with much more force. I am actually going to say tasks are much more difficult now, as you just feel like you are practically falling asleep in the chair. Mjolnir looks over. You okay there, Commander?
No, I'm not. I had a really bad sleep, and I am absolutely been so exhausted. I think I'm gonna have to. I think I should probably get to sickbay, actually.
Okay. Alright, I guess I'll take the big chair. She's looking over. I've been looking over sensor scans for the past few hours since we last spoke, because that amount of time has definitely elapsed here, but yeah, nothing really doing here.
Yeah, you had the con. If I know you had that for the last shift, so you could probably call up the captain if you need it.
Well, I've just had it during the early part of the beta shift here, which you are still in beta shift right now. I can handle the big chair for a little while.
Okay, good. She'll go off towards the lift.
Yep.
And head back down to sickbay.
Going back down to sickbay, you find Xantar and Dr. Lambeth still back on still on duty, as they are attending to things. It's a bit of a stroll down there, going through the corridors as you arrive in sickbay. But yeah, you are just absolutely bleary-eyed. Tavashi, I'll say that you are also still there, and you see the commander is looking quite exhausted.
Dr. Xantar, does Commander Sheara need a stimulant?
I've had a whole bunch of caffeine. Did not seem to last.
Come this way, Commander. Let's see
yeah.
if we can have a better look at you.
Yeah.
Helps guide her to like one of the medical benches, and then gets out the medical tricorder.
Okay.
So, tell me, symptoms. How are you feeling?
Exhausted.
And you've done no extraneous exercise today, I take it?
I didn't even go to the gym.
Oh, good. I hear they're refurbishing it.
Yeah. So no strenuous exercises. Just did light duties today.
And you say you consumed a stimulant earlier? Caffeine,
Yes, lots. I had a mug of coffee with
I see.
sugar.
Any other unusual symptoms today?
No. I guess it's just a pretty bad night of sleep.
Well, exhaustion can come from a lack of sleep, but well, let's have a look. And he'll start scanning it a bit deeper with his tricorder.
Reason and medicine with a difficulty of 1, please. Tavashi, you may assist if you like, and you can... Well, let's actually just have the doctor scan on this.
Yeah. I assume my focus in xenobiology applies.
Yes.
Oh God!
Wow. Just wow.
Oh wow! First roll.
Wow.
First roll.
You know, I was just about to spend. I had just spent 2 threat for this, but I'm just gonna take that as a narrative complication there, Xantar.
Yeah. Fair
yeah,
enough.
that's fair.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yeah. So, Xantar, you can't make heads or tails. It looks like it's just a bad night's sleep here, basically.
Silly Andorian physiology.
Okay.
Possibly. Well, I can't seem to find any major cause. Might just be that you've had some of the stress build up. Oh,
That's snapping me back
Over
to
the
attention.
over the audio, there's the chime calls down. Action stations, action stations. All hands, get to action stations right away.
oh dear.
Am I fit for duty, Xantar? Yes
Uh,
or no?
Xantar will quickly go over to his medical kit and basically put a stimulant, suitable stimulant, in a hyperspray and apply it to Sheara.
I was like, there you are, Commander. That should keep you fit for a while. But as soon as this is over, I'd say bed rest. Doctor's
Yes.
orders.
Right. I'll start going back to the bridge.
Yep.
And as Sheara runs out, just here, let me know if you see any or hear anything out there.
Yep. The stimulant coursing through your veins, something about it just sends every nerve on edge as you spike through it. As it spikes through you, you run out through the corridor towards the turbo lift, and as you do, you feel the sudden semblance of inertia, like just slightly. You feel yourself sent slightly into the wall to the right. The dampeners are still working, but what this would suggest, Sheara, is that somebody is trying to pull off a very tight turn while you are still at warp.
Ooh. It's not so good.
All right, you make it to the turbo lift. You find that Colonel Sharp and Colonel Sharp and Mr. Crichton are both there on their way to the bridge. So let's. I'll ask too, actually. Horn, would you like to be there too?
I would probably arrive at some point.
Yeah, I'll put the 4 of you in there, and we'll move sets real quick just to put everyone on the turbo lift. Yeah, the 4 of you enter in, with it zooming up the... As you do, like, there's a moment where you step into the turbo lift, Sheara, and there is a different feel to the deck plating. Before the turbo lift is even started, there's, like, a very slight buckle, of some sort. I'll say anybody who wants to can give me an insight and engineering roll here. Or insight and con. Well, let's see.
Gotta get him out. Just get him out. Just get him out. Just get all his nationalities out.
Do you want to give me threat there, Panda, or would you prefer narrative complication?
Give me narrative.
Okay.
Why not?
So the 4 of you step into the turbo lift. All of you kind of have an unnerving feeling as to what may have occurred. But Marcus, you are the first one to realize it well enough to notice it. I'm also going to say that's 1 more momentum that you can take for Marcus's success.
Yeah, it just hesitate for a second, then just like we just fell out of warp.
Also, as part of the narrative complication, the turbo lift has now ceased moving as it had started going up.
Naturally.
Damn it.
What decks are we stuck between?
We should be... looks like we've made it between decks 2 and 3, sir. I might be able to bypass something in order to reinitialize it.
The captain's already trying to bypass it.
All right. Do you want to roll a task, or do you want to just use the momentum you've got to create an advantage?
I'd rather save the momentum, so let's just roll a task. I'm going to use
Call it daring.
fitness. Daring, yep.
Daring and engineering is what I was going to say.
Can I use daring and security by just, like, trying to force open the damn thing?
Oh, you're trying to, like, force open a panel and, like, just manually open it?
Yeah.
In that case,
the door open.
I'll make it fitness, or I'll let fitness work, and I still kind of want engineering because you are trying to do something tech-wise.
All right. Well, still the same diff, so let's just roll it. Damn.
It does not come into place, and you're trying to get the panel open, but something doesn't work out. And the moment that as that seems to fail, and as Crichton starts working at it, there's a sudden sense of illumination to the panel, or it starts running a bit brighter. Sheara, you feel the strangest swirling sensory, a familiar sort of swirling sensory chaos around your antennae, as suddenly all the panels, all the wall platings in the turbo lift begin to discharge electricity. It spikes in every direction, piercing through each and every one of you, as you feel suddenly held rigid, and just everyone is caught in this deeply pained sort of blast of energy, circulating through the turbo lift. The ship begins to rattle and shake around you, and a bright light overtakes you. Sheara, you awaken, albeit under much protest from your body. Your quarters are at low illumination, and the stars streak outside your window. A quick look around the room finds you alone in your quarters at their comfortable, cool temperature, although you appear to have broken out in a sweat. The ship's chronometer reads 10:30 hours, well past your alarms. You are not on duty to start with on first shift, but it is still later than you planned on waking up.
Sheara's gonna sit up and wipe her brow. Was that a dream? Had to be a dream. No. She'll look confused and just go over to the data pad and look up the duty roster.
Mm-hmm. You look over the duty roster, and it indeed seems to be reading as you had expected, as scheduled, but as you felt you have read it before. Also, as you do read through it, you immediately feel that bleary-eyed sensation, and I will be spending 2 threat here. For those in the audience, I will note at this point, all counters have reset to what they were at the beginning of the session. So with an expenditure of 2 threat, Sheara, you are tired.
She'll go and shower, try to wake herself up a bit, and then come back and record her officer's log.
Okay. You can read through as much as you wish, or do an expedited version. I'll leave that to you.
First officer's log. Aegis is on course for her next destination, a star system at far end of subspace rift. We are using a subspace stream to gain more speed on the journey, though it does have potential danger coming close to Klingon space. To avoid possible confrontation with them, we plan to vector away before reaching the edge of their so-called empire. Though I've scheduled some extra drills just in case. Thankfully, there's sensor scans show no sign of any vessels in the region. Let's hope that continues. End log. She'll then collect her data pad, and once she's dressed, she'll head out.
And as you walk out into the corridor, no sooner do you make it into the corridor than, after rounding a few steps, you see that exuberant but slick piloting officer, Chief Willie D. Justice. Ah, Commander, just what I was looking for.
Hi, Chief.
Oh, wake up on the wrong side of the bed today, Commander?
Yeah, bad dream.
Oh, that's a pity. Well, you know what they say, rise and grind.
Yeah.
Oh.
What did you want to talk about?
Oh, well, I wanted to talk to you about Mr. Remora. He's not on duty shift today, but I was wondering, Commander, if during a beta shift today, if we could possibly meet up and, well, I want to give him some supplemental training, drill him on more of the basics with the ship's engines, or, well, more advanced stuff, actually. He's catching on pretty well.
Yeah. He's that sounds a good idea.
Yeah, he's not bad for an old pirate, huh?
He shows many fine qualities.
Yeah, that I definitely agree there. He's got to, well, he's really getting stuff down. I think over time he could, if he doesn't go enlisted, of course, depending on what the captain decides, he could well be an officer. He could have it out for your job one of these days.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah. Well, appreciate the consideration. Whoa! Tally comes through the door, knocks into Justice. He goes careening into the bulkhead, banging up his knee. Ah, damn it. Sorry, Chief. Sorry, Commander. Sorry.
Quite all right. Sheara's at this point looking a bit more wide-eyed and antennas twitching a bit.
Yep. Tally's just going to, like, nod and, like, offer to help the Chief's like, I got it. I'll just make a quick run down to sickbay. And
Yeah.
says, okay, all right.
Sure.
Sorry, bye.
Sure, it's just a bruise.
And nothing the doc can't get taken care of. Well, I'll see you later there, Commander.
Yeah.
Ugh. And they head off to their respective spots in the turbo lifts, managing to beat you. Sheara, how are you doing right now?
She's quite dumbfounded at this point. It's like this. This all happened. What? Because she remembers all this. She'll after a moment she'll head to go to the mess hall.
Yep. So, you make your way down towards the mess hall. You find once again you have to wait on the turbo lift as Tally took the one that you were planning on taking. And when you do make it down, you see that there's a very familiar arrangement to the mess. In particular, at the far end, Kesh and Rako, sitting isolated as they usually do. The twins together at another table. Ensign Alvarez at a table not too far from you. And Chief Fernier by a wall panel investigating some equipment, and Alonso making some rounds through the mess hall.
Sheara, recognizing the scene, will cautiously approach the coffee machine and press the button.
It's yesterday's brew, Commander. If you want a new one, I can get you make one up in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, sure. Make me a new one. She presses the button for a second time.
A sludge begins to sputter out, spraying the whole interior of the drink machine, as well as the glass. A bit of hot water begins to spray out as well. Sorry about that, Commander. We'll try and... we'll get that fixed right away.
The boss said you could fix it yesterday.
He shrugs. Doing what we can with what we've got.
Yeah. Yes, I'll take that new coffee. I'll add so.
And how about
Then
Let me
then
finish.
her eyes and antennas start going over towards Racco.
you fix whatever's making the food around here?
Again, same verse, same as the first. He just slowly turns in his direction.
What do you mean first? This is the first time this happened.
Yep. Sheara, the encounter plays out in a very familiar fashion as they start calling out between each other as
Yeah.
Racco and Alonso close the distance, and Racco complains about how these pancakes are inedible. They're this bread-like substance is grainy, mushy, and bland.
Racco, sit back down. You made your point. You're not. No one's gonna start anything in front of the
Excuse
first
me.
officer, right?
Commander, it's fine. It's fine.
Don't. I need my coffee. Racco, you can sit back down. It's all good.
Lotso just stares down Rocco.
Racco will look at you with the wild-eyed stare for a moment before looking over to Sheara and then back to you, shrugging his shoulders and just giving that carefree smile. I've had slop other places. I'll have it here too.
Yeah. Go. Yeah. Finish up. Eat up.
Slop that he's very, like sloppy as teeth. Kind of mutters under his breath. And goes get coffee.
After Sheara's been given the coffee, instead of sticking around, she'll still ask Alvarez to stay in the mess hall until Racco's gone away. She'll take the coffee and go try to find Aleska.
Okay, let me take a quick look here. This is tail end of first shift, so Aleska should be on duty in engineering. So, Brian, would you be up for a scene in engineering? You there, Brian?
Brian?
If you can hear us, you are muted at the moment. Momentary-ish.
Somebody type him?
I'll give it a go here. Also, I'm going to run just a few more ads here while we get that sorted out. So.
Mute here. Briefly went mute there. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Can you hear us, Brian?
He says he is here.
Alright, check your input. Your input might be misplaced.
Well, I believe he was working off his phone here for audio. If you are saying anything, Brian, we can't hear you. Can you hear us? Yes. Craig, if we may need to work out a backup plan on where Sheara goes, if that.
Yes. So
we'll see what happens with Brian here in the next few moments.
Yeah. If not, then we'll, I guess, go to the doctor maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, that would probably be the next best bet if can't hear Brian. Do-do-do.
All right.
Oh, hold on, he's typing.
Okay. Yeah. For those in stream, for those of you joining us here, I think we are out of the ad now. Apologies. We are just having some slight technical issues with one of the players here, so we're just trying to figure out what's going on with the audio there. Let's see. All right. Well, let's tell you what. Let us just to clarify, and also I need to take some people out of the engine room. Sheara, you said that you are going there right away. Would this mean that you are you headed there like during the tail end of first shift still, or are you like? Would you take enough time to where it goes into second shift? Basically, the second
I think she wouldn't have stuck around that long this time in the mess hall.
Okay.
Especially since everything seems to be exactly what she'd experienced a few hours before that. Or dreamed about, or something.
Okay. So, I think
More
then...
concerned.
Yeah, we'll drop that...
Can you hear me now?
Okay, we can hear you now, Brian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, there we are.
So then...
Of course, right when I get a scene, the freaking thing goes
Naturally.
crazy.
Yep,
You know, so...
Okay,
so I'm here.
Alright.
Okay.
So just to double check then, Sheara, would you like to go to engineering, chat with Aleska, or would you
Yes.
prefer? Okay, then
We'll go Alaska, because yeah.
Okay.
Now we haven't gone through the shuck and jive that things are quiet, but probably I'm monitoring because we're on that subspace flow.
Yeah, it's a relatively quiet day. Romanov, the biggest headaches, as I alluded to with the messages earlier, there have just been some technical issues, maintenance stuff. The engines in particular have been a little bit stressed.
Then she's probably walking around engineering or up on that gantry where you can really right in front of it, you know? So probably hanging out there with a cup of coffee. Like, she's not worried, but she wants to be right by the action central, just in case.
Yep.
You know, surfing these subspace flows, we've had issues before, so.
Yep. So, sure, you step into the engine room with your own mug of coffee, working at things. You see engineers are around. Romanov, you see Sheara wandering around the engine room on the lower level.
Oh. Commander?
Oh, there you are. Sheara's gonna make her way up to Alaska. Hey, how's things going?
Good. We're, everything's going well. I'm just kind of keeping a watchful eye because we're approaching the edges of Klingon space, and then we're going to have to make a possible switch off of this flow. So
Yeah. Nothing weird? Nothing unusual going on?
yeah, she hits a
Oh.
panel, runs. No, everything's, we're a little on the stress side.
Yeah.
You know, doing this trick with the modulations to the warp field, you know, to be in these streams. You know, I just got to watch the math.
No sense that any of this happened before?
She'll stop and turn around and look at you. Happened before?
Yeah, like things that stuff that you did today may have happened yesterday? No?
I'll stop and, concentrate for a moment and review my memories. Do I have any sense of anything repeating?
You ponder the existential questions that Sheara might be raising, and although there is a familiar routine to what you are doing, and you've been on this particular subspace stream for a little while, this exact day is the first time you have been through it, and you wouldn't know otherwise.
I have no such memories. If
Huh?
you're experiencing that, how vividly are you experiencing something like that? I have to assume that's why you're asking me.
Okay, right. Well, she'll keep her voice low because she doesn't want other engineers to
Let's go to my
overhear.
office. Let's go to my office.
You have an
So
office?
we'll step out and I'll turn over to whoever's the next duty officer. You got the floor.
So they
It's
said,
Bernard, and he's just like, no problem, sir.
Oh no, not Bernard. Oh god. That's what's gone wrong with the ship. Yeah. That's what happens.
You just see him covered in grease and grime, and just like again, one of the plasma manifolds has been pulled out, and he's fixing it.
So we'll step in. She'll step into her office, and as she often does when she is pondering or considering something, she just reaches for the soccer ball and spins it in her hand.
Okay, look, this might sound weird, but I woke up and everything. Well, everything so far seems to have. I might have dreamt it, or had some kind of premonition, or it felt very
Whenever you say the
vivid.
word weird and you're coming to me, just remember my definitions are far different than other people's. Let me
I'll
ask
admit
you a
that
couple
that is part of the reason why I'm coming to you.
Let me ask you a couple questions. You said you've felt like you've repeated events. Is this exactly, or have you been able to alter sequence at all?
I've come here and talk to you, but like the first thing was I met Justice in the hallway, and he was talking about Remora. Then he got walked into by Shakaras, and that hurt his knee, so he went off to sick bay. Then I got stranded without a turbo lift. Then in the mess hall, the coffee machine broke. Racco tried to instigate a fight, and it's just everything is like exactly as it was. Apart from now, I've come to talk to you, which I didn't do. I didn't do in the dream premonition thing.
She'll reach into her desk and pull out just an engineering sensor. I'll attempt to scan to see if there's any kind of distortion around her. If there's any unusual energy readings.
I would say if this is possible, it would be a difficulty 5 task to get any sort of readout of that.
I'm not even gonna look for, chromatons at this point would be mostly theoretical crap. And the sensors probably can't even touch that. But I'm gonna look for something simpler. Is she emanating any more energy or absorbing any more energy than a human body would normally be? And I'll just put the sensor on that as my thing, just to see if there's anything out of the ordinary.
Okay, give me I guess this would be either, well, reason and engineering or reason and science would be applicable. It would be more of a science role, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So, reason plus science, please.
Okay, because of my technical difficulties, I jumped right into roleplay, and I got knocked out of Roll20, so you're going to have to give me 1 minute.
That's okay.
Oh,
I can actually
great.
give it a roll for you if you like.
Can you roll me? I'm not having any luck today.
That's
Go ahead and roll it.
That's quite all right. I've got you taken care of. Let's see here. So that'll be reason plus science. I will say that none of your focuses really apply here. 2 dice. That is
Lovely.
a single success and a complication.
Oh,
A natural 20.
yay.
So, first and foremost, Brian, for the for the complication, would you prefer to accept a narrative complication, to ignore it and give the GM a point of threat, or 2 points of threat rather, or would you like? Well, actually, you can't buy it off with momentum. You would have to use a point of determination.
No, we'll go. I'll give you. I think it's narrative, right? You take 2 threat.
Indeed, so.
Okay.
Or well,
I'll
no.
go
Narrative
with
would be a story complication that I devise. To ignore it would be to give me threat.
I'll let you story complicate.
Okay.
Just what Sheara needs. More complication in her day.
Yep. So Romanov, you detect nothing out of the ordinary from what your engineering scanner can read out. It's not the best equipment for the job, but it is the tool that you have. As you pass by,
Right.
an engineer comes in with a report here, which I have. Can you see? I can't remember. Can you see Roll20 right at the moment?
I can't. You're going to have to just story it for me. For whatever reason, I'm having lots of connection problems.
Okay.
And I'm just glad voice is working.
How is about I send it to you via the Discord?
I'm in general.
I will tell you what, I'll post it in the general chat since everyone will be here. Or you're about to read it off anyway. So, if you can read that off.
Okay, she's looking at that. You should know about this, ma'am. A report came in from the armory. There's a malfunction during the test of the tactical control system, and we're going to have to run a level 3 diagnostic for beta shift. Well, of course, will be about the time we're getting close to Klingon space, right? I'll look down at our progress map. She's probably got a data pad with, like the equivalent of MapQuest showing our progress.
I mean, you're relatively clear right now, but you're still a ways off. But it is entirely possible long-range Klingon patrols could come out.
Right. How long will that will the diagnostic? Well, how long do I think that diagnostic will take?
A very good question, and one I can answer here.
The captain won't be happy. Ronov.
Oh, she's going to forward this up to you. She's just trying to figure out the timing first.
Yeah. So the way it works with a level 3 diagnostic, that should be. Oh man, I'm missing my handy dandy list. Let me pull up my my ops manual. But you know that there are basically a variety of tests for bad components, essentially, and what that often does is it means that systems are taken offline or removed from the main system for brief periods of time. Some of them very quick. A level 5 diagnostic is usually on the order of a few minutes, while a level 1 diagnostic can be on the order of hours. So
possibly 12 hours, worst case scenario.
Not that bad for a not that bad for a level 3 diagnostic. I'm going through the ops book now because that should definitely have reference to it. Here we go. A lesser diagnostic that requires on-site monitoring of of only the most important elements of a system. Estimated time to completion 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. I'll call that 45 minutes, and I'll send a priority report up to the boss. And look, and I'll say 15 to 45 minutes on that diagnostic. I'm not picking up any... She switches back over. I'm not picking up any energetic changes around you. Detecting temporal anomalies. You know, most of this stuff is still theoretical physics. And unfortunately, none of our equipment is really designed to do it. I've had some similar experiences to me that happened to me, although not temporally related, but in terms of experiencing, I don't know, other dimensional space in some other format. But I'm not picking up anything. But if you're experiencing it, I'd be concerned. Did you go by medical and have them run you?
Not yet. I came here because I thought you'd believe me. So
I'm the one who will not probably doubt you right away.
yeah.
We're on the stream. I'll just look at the overall ship.
You
I'll pull
get a
up my
message back.
master.
You get a message back. Is not today. 20 minutes. That is all, and that's it.
Okay, 20 minutes then. So I'll pull up the schematics, look at the recent energetic history of the Aegis, and see if there's any like about the time she went to sleep, were there any unusual energy readings around her deck level and quarters?
There's nothing of the sort to suggest anything, as far as sensor records or anything would suggest that there's been anything strange happening aboard the Aegis. At least not within the bounds of...
I'll look at her and go, I'm not seeing any unusual energetics.
Okay.
And your deck was clear. Did you encounter anything before going to sleep? Did you...
Perfectly normal, but no.
You seem fatigued. Yeah, I assume I can read that on her face.
Very. She's sipping a coffee, which I guess is helping, but
no.
Okay.
It has gone a ways to nullify the tired trait.
Okay.
Okay.
The one thing I could think of, and this is outside of my field of play, is perhaps they could do a brain scan and see, if there's any unusual activity in the brain or, chemical signatures, and I'm just totally guessing on this because I know nothing about that. Other than I spent a lot of time in rehab at one point, so I have interacted with a lot of doctors. Maybe some of your neurotransmitter chemicals might, if something was going on, maybe spottable there, but I have no idea how to look for that.
No, you're right. I think I should go to sick bay.
I'd highly recommend that. I'm going to head down to tactical and oversee what's going on down there and wait for beta. How long are we till beta shift?
I was actually going to ask about that because I realized I had thoughts on another house rule, but I hadn't enforced it or laid it out as clearly. since we are working off of the scene blocks, I had the thought that for this first one I could grant it freely, but for future ones I might impose a momentum cost in order to do multiple things during a scene block. So for now, this can still be tail end of Alpha Shift, since I've only just sort of brought this up. But we can go into Beta Shift here with the next scene.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, head to medical. Sure.
Yeah.
We'll play
Okay.
around.
No, yeah, good idea. And Sheara's
And
gonna
she'll
head.
walk out with you and just go, you still got the floor. I got to run up to tactical. Any issues, contact me. And I'll walk out with her because... we're gonna-
Understood, sir.
Good job.
All right.
As you head out, he's a bit of a work in progress, but a lot of potential.
Good.
All right. So
My best parts cleaner.
yep, the two of you make your way out, and you probably proceed together through a good bit of the ship as you move through the stretches of corridor. You do part ways as you go towards different sections of the Aegis. In Romanov's case, of course, she will be heading down to Deck 9, where the armory is located. Or it's also... she'll be staying on... actually, I think it would be Deck 8 would be the one that you would come through, because that can access the armory as well and kind of work with both functions there. In your case, Sheara, you would head down to Deck 9 yourself. For that would be
And once
where...
we part ways, I'll just go, put it in the log. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be on through Beta Shift probably, at least the first hour.
Yep. All right, so Sheara, you are... you split off with that bit of work noted, and you arrive in... Let me move this around. You arrive in sickbay. Where... Let's get that changed here. Okay. You arrive at sickbay. You see the doctors are all present as we get into... the changeover to Beta Shift has occurred. You would be technically on duty right now on your rounds. You see you also see the captain has stopped in for a moment. Speaking of Dr. Lambeth, it seems. Or, if you prefer, Xantar instead. What would be your preference there?
Xantar, why not?
All right.
Lambeth should be busy.
Yep. Xantar has come out of the lab. Xantar, you've come out of the lab, and Colonel Sharp appears to have been waiting for you here. Which is just the conversation we're kind of coming into when Sheara arrives.
Okay, no worries.
You sent for me, sir?
Yeah. Someone's rolling dice.
Sorry, my girlfriend's playing D&D in the background.
No worries. I have a migraine, and it's not going away.
Migraine?
Normal
What?
painkillers aren't working.
Oh, oh, please, let's have a look then. And Xantar will start busy himself with a medical tricorder.
Yep.
And then start going to the process of have you taken anything unusual? Have you had any symptoms? Would you like some hallucinogenic tea? And it's like, no? Okay.
No. I'm fine, thank you.
Get to play.
All right. Tell me, sir, when did you start feeling these symptoms?
When have I started feeling this? Today?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I woke up. Probably early.
Oh. Did you...
I wasn't drinking the night before. No.
You weren't drinking?
I was not.
I see.
Let's get ready to
I
rumble!
take it you hadn't
Rumble!
taken anything else, Captain.
Nope. She says that she kind of just like kind of twirls a cigar in her fingers. Outside of occasional cigar, no.
At this point, Commander, you round the corner and you find Xantar and Colonel Sharp talking.
She'll just politely wait.
Commander, are you all right there?
Hoping if you could run a scan on me.
We are
Well,
family.
one moment. I'll just deal with the captain for now. If you don't mind, Captain, I'll just quickly see what the commander needs. I won't be a moment.
Not a problem.
I don't think it's going to be a quick thing.
Well,
Something going on.
Maybe. That's why I'm here to have it checked out.
I see. He'll Xantar will quickly grab something to help ease the captain's head and applies it to her. Hopefully this will help, Captain. And we'll see what's wrong with the commander. So, give us a summary. What seems to be the problem?
Okay, this is gonna sound strange, but I think I had some kind of dream or premonition about today, and so far it's proved very accurate. And I'm also rather exhausted by everything, but I didn't really have good sleep, and
So you're saying you were experiencing what the humans would call a deja vu, but on a larger scale?
possibly, yes, yeah.
Unusual.
That's-
But most day-to-day patterns would seem like some usuals, hence why the symptom exists. But how accurate are we talking?
It's very specific, like Chief Justice and Shakaris running into each other.
And the chief hurting his knee?
Yep.
It was in this
The
morning.
coffee machine being broken and giving me black sludge for a drink, which I did not drink. And Recco and Alazzo nearly getting into a fight in the mess hall.
Any other details?
Alonso and the former pirate crew always get into fights, Commander.
Yeah, this just happened in a very specific way over pancakes.
And it all happened exactly as you say. No deviations or anything.
It
Hey,
did.
Peter, can you switch push talk?
Yeah, one sec.
Yeah. Sorry, it was starting to get to me.
The Sickbay Tabletop Club has been having a fine time.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, it was very specific over pancakes, and I don't think we had pancakes on the menu yesterday. At least it's not like a Lazzo to do the same dish 2 days in a row.
No.
Certainly isn't.
The captain is looking very, very focused towards you.
So I think just a scan. Yeah.
Well, right, Xantar will start bringing her over to like the large MRI, like scanning machine. Start putting her in.
GM, I sent a question to you through DMs.
I was just in the process of getting that answer. Okay, so Xantar, you were wanting to conduct a medical scan.
Yes, please.
Okay, this would be reason plus medicine. The ship can assist you with, I'll call this medicine and sensors.
Yes, that would be very useful. Nice.
Yay!
Oh, sorry. Medicine. That was meant to be medicine, which is a 5, but either way.
Yes, yes.
Who's rolling for the ship?
It's usually me, but if someone else wants to take.
Panda, you want to take that, or Felix, or any?
Reason and science?
I can't do any rolling, so somebody else has got to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, the ship. Ship. Yeah, I'll take the ship. Computers or
Sensors plus medicine.
okay. Sensors. Medicine right there. We are not a medical ship.
Okay.
No.
So nothing from the ship. That will just be 2 successes. So I'll say, Xantar, that there are no real signs of anything that the medical scanner could detect, even with its intensive levels. There are certainly signs of stress in terms of, like, obvious exhaustion, something that would suggest, like, difficulty sleeping. And basically that there was some sort of... basically that Sheara is not well rested in the slightest. There's, like... You can tell that caffeine and sugar is working quite effectively to give her a bit of a extra bit of zest.
That is a lot of sugar.
Yeah. She is bound for a pretty bad crash here in a few hours, but otherwise, it would be like there just isn't that much. 2 successes is not going to tell you enough to say like that there's any particularly strange. Nothing that would explain premonitions or visions of the future. Otherwise,
Could I spend my determination to try and push that roll a bit further?
Generally speaking, I would say that like the determination there would be. I would say that there. If you're going for an auto crit, I'd say generally that has to come before the roll.
All right, no worries.
I suppose we could always re-roll the ship here, or if you wanted to frame something as an advantage to give you a little more information, then that might be workable.
Nah, I just want to see if I could.
Fair enough. Yeah. So. What you have in sickbay isn't going to tell you much.
Okay. So Xanta sort of looks at the findings like, I'm sorry, Commander, I can't seem to find anything medically wrong with you, but...
Hello.
Yes, thank you, Ensign. But perhaps medicine isn't quite the...
Okay.
Perhaps we should try science. Let's see if we can get you into one of the science labs. Maybe something there will help.
Yes. Captain. I need to have a word then.
Yeah. She says. Are we both good to go, Doctor?
Yes, I'll release you for now. I'll take these scans and take them over to the science lab and see if I can't uncover something else.
You hear the flick of a lighter as she lights her cigar and puts it in her mouth. Do you have a marker, Doctor?
Oh, yes, sir. Here.
Is it permanent?
He checks it. Yes.
Thank you. I'll return it later.
Lambeth
No
peers Lambeth peers around. Okay, I'm not the biggest enforcer of not igniting combustibles rules, but not my
leaving-
sick bay, Captain.
I'm leaving the sick bay.
He just kind of shakes his head and continues to work on his other patients, other people he's checking in on. So the two of you will move you to a corridor set as you transition, figure out what you two want to do next, and as Sandra takes
She will kind of twirl the spin the marker in her hand between her fingers. How certain are you, Commander, of your Deja Vu?
Pretty certain. I mean, things are working out. Things are working out like they did before, but I'm doing things differently.
I've heard a lot of strange things happen out here in the stars. Deja vu happens from time to time, especially the monotony.
This isn't just something which I feel's happened before, but I remember all this happening before in detail. Captain, something happened to the ship at the end. Something happened to the ship before I woke up today. I don't know. There was an alarm. We were called to action stations. The ship was maneuvering hard at warp, then dropped out of warp. We were caught in the turbo lift and it overloaded and, well.
Then before you continue further, she uncorks the permanent marker, puts a number 1 on the back of her hand, or like at the back of her wrist, and then reaches out towards you. Your hand, Commander.
Okay.
She pulls up your sleeve a little bit, puts number 1 on the back of your wrist. If you wake up tomorrow or today, whichever the case, I want you to look specifically at this and remember what number it was.
Right. Wow.
The most recent memory you have of that number.
Okay.
If it's different, you take it, you grab the nearest marker, you put it up one more number. Understand?
Right.
If you really are going through a time loop or something like that, then you're not going to have the marker. And if you add additional numbers, it'll tell you how many loops you've been going through. All right?
Okay. Right. I'll get myself to.
Let's both get us to the bridge. I'll take double shift for the day. If what you say is true, then certainly we both need to be there. If not, then you can take double shift tomorrow for me, she says with a smile.
Huh. Yeah, I'll enjoy that.
Want some exercise?
No. I'm so tired.
Oh, too bad. She says that she just crawls into a freaking grabs a ladder.
Oh,
The nearest ladder and starts climbing.
Sure, we'll climb.
Taking the Jeffries tube up to the bridge.
Yep.
Or the equivalent. Okay.
Yep. Not trusting shit. Not trusting the lifts.
Okay. So the two of you are going to open a hatch. We'll come out in the second scene block, and you emerge from a backup, like the backup access area of the bridge, coming out underneath the master display console. Melnyuk turns around her chair and is like, I'm sorry, is there... Turbolifts aren't out, are they?
No, just doing some exercise. Right, Commander?
Yes, doing exercise.
Sheara, as you crawl out and rise to your feet with the time that has passed, you realize you are feeling tired again. It has come back in force. Well, I guess, I don't know if... I know Commander Sheara was meant to have the con, but if you're back here, Captain, if this isn't just for a lark, then I guess the con is yours. Whoever's on shift here, she says...
I'll take the con, Lieutenant.
Yep. Situation reports normal. We've had no sensor contacts. Armory has notified us that a level 3 diagnostic is in progress on the tactical systems. We are otherwise maintaining present course and heading.
She kind of eyes Sheara and then looks back over to Crichton.
Crichton's not on shift. He left at the start.
Yeah, she'll go to communications. Are we still out from long range?
The ensign of communications turns over and says, there's no one to talk to here, Captain. I'd say, I'm just going to give them the elaborate radio voice.
Sure.
I'd say there's nobody to talk to out here, Captain. We haven't received any signals from the Echo probe in a couple weeks. Mr. Crichton still running tests on that to figure out what's going on. We're quite puzzled here, but yes, no reports on that front.
All right. I want to know the minute that he gets it back running again. Mjolnir, I have a very interesting science project for you.
Okay. What can I do?
What do you know of chronotons and tachyons?
Well, chronotons I haven't heard of so much. Tachyons, though, those are well understood as a faster than light capable particle in a sense.
I know that we're not a very detailed lab as would be in more planet side, but could this ship monitor the level of tachyons we're passing through right now?
I can modify sensors and attempt to get more of attempt to see if there's any residual tachyon signature of any sort. I can I can see if there's anything in the database as far as chronotons go and try to pull up the information. Our sensor suite is fairly advanced, so I should be able to tweak it for other types of subatomic particles.
Great. Get started. I want a full report.
Yeah. As all this is happening, Chief Justice and Remora are chatting as well. Though Remora, you and probably Justice were both interrupted by by the emergence of the captain and the first officer.
Justice, should I give the helm back to you?
Yeah. I think our training ship's all set here. Besides that, you got this all well in hand. I gotta say, I'm a little surprised anybody was... I'm surprised you've committed the information here to memory in such a fashion. I'd like all the regs there.
GM, quick question.
Yes.
Can I change my response since the captain is here? Making
Yes.
a different timeline, basically?
I mean, this has interrupted the events as we knew them, so yeah, certainly.
Thank you. I've been trying to get the hang of this ship. It's very, very different compared to the pirate ships I've been on.
Yeah, I figured. Uh, well, you'll adjust pretty well, I'm sure.
I'll do my best. There. Permission to be relieved, Captain?
Granted, get some rest. You've done a good job so far.
Thank you. And he is going to give a salute and leave.
She'll look over to Justice. Justice, can you give me a report about the current turbulence within the subspace way we're in right now? The last 6 hours. Hello?
Sorry about that. It's been pretty smooth sailing here, so
Even the smallest of bumps, I want to know about it.
all right, I'll get something compiled. Yeah. So as Sharp is settling in and Melnick is conducting her scans, Sheara, you're at standing by tactical. I think, yeah, such that Alvarez is here. He might be hesitating to wait and see what happens. I will note once again, Sheara, extremely tired now.
Commander?
Yes, sir.
She kind of like, she's about to say something and then just like exhales through her nose with a wistful little small smile. I'd rather not have you drop on your feet and in your station, though that's respectable, Commander.
Yeah. She'll move over closer to Shah, and just kind of try to whisper.
She'll lean forward. Or lean forward.
I got this tired last time. I left the bridge with Melnick in charge. I went to sick bay, got stimulants, and was on my way here when things started going wrong. So it's probably not too long to whatever it is, but if it doesn't happen, then I'll gladly just head to sick bay and collapse there.
There is some chilled coffee in the cooler I have hidden away. You know where it is in my what you call it? Frick, out of character. I forgot the name for it.
Ready room?
Ready room. If you need a little bit of a pick me up, it's not great, but I'll help you a little bit. Step away for a moment. But after, when you come back, I want a report of any sensor pings or anything similar to Kazenti stealth or anything that we've encountered so far.
Of course, yeah. She'll quickly go to the ready room and get a cold cup of coffee.
Okay. Let me move sets over just very quickly here. Let's see. Where's the ready room? All right.
The ready room's a mess, by the way. It has a numerous amount of books, charts. There are several design plans for ideas regarding the Aegis and weapon designs.
Go faster stripes down the Aegis. Interesting.
There are tactical plans for Klingons, for Kazenti, for Tandarans. Even vague reports about the few times we've run across the Tholians.
Interesting. She'll try not to waste too much time and try to get caffeinated again.
Okay, we'll do that. So it takes you a moment to get to the. It takes you a moment to get that together as you pop it open, and like find the iced coffee. I have to imagine the captain has also got like other drinks that she would keep relatively chilled.
Yeah, there's a number of other non-alcoholic drinks like the equivalent of Fresca, a few juices, lots of water, and then tons and tons and tons of alcohol.
Oh, that's yeah. Okay. she'll just pour herself a mug of the coffee, chilled coffee or whatever it is.
Yep. So you drink up, and yeah, let's see. Sorry, just one moment. Let's see here. You drink the chilled coffee, and it takes a moment, but I'm going to presume that the version that you use is it is deeply concentrated, or it's a deeply concentrated coffee, as many iced coffees would be. So, while maybe not necessarily as sweet as what you would usually like it does begin to steadily metabolize, and you find yourself at relative ease as but it gives you a moment to be at relative ease, and yeah, so you feel reasonably set as so you settle in for the moment, and about halfway through the mug, as you start feeling a little more refreshed and awoken.
Oh no.
Action stations! All hands, man your action stations! Set to condition red throughout the ship.
Sheara's gonna go straight to the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Out the door.
Yep. So coming back out on the to the bridge, do you man your position at tactical, stand next to the captain? Like, what would you?
So my condition is no longer tired.
You are no longer tired at the moment.
Okay, right. She'll take over position from Alvarez and start looking at the tactical display.
The tactical display shows you as captain. Have you already given the order to drop out?
Yep.
Okay. You are now presently at. You're moving at impulse speeds as a vessel is dropping out ahead of you. Something that was not this close based on. Like, there was nothing on sensors before, but it has very quickly appeared. I'm going to say there's a very high energy signature reflecting that. That could reflect like a weapons charge that is readied. It also appears to have some sort of shielding active. At this point, Melnyuk will say, placing contact on screen now, sir. Let's see. Not that on screen. Where's the other one? I'm just going to spend some... well, no, I won't spend... in part to make this work, I'm just going to spend the threat to create the complication of a sudden fault in the visual here, as the visual display goes to static.
She just like exhales and looks directly over at Milnick.
Sorry, sir, we're having some sort of technical fault. Sheara, you notice that that's not the only place, because despite action stations being called, hull plating is not polarizing and weapons are not charging.
Weapon systems not going online. Hull plating is not polarizing.
She'll switch communications over to engineering. Engineering, Romanov, now. Gets back on the stream.
Yeah.
You are actually connected to the armory where Romanov is presently overseeing the diagnostic.
Yeah, she'll just say, Romanov, I need you back engineering. Get us out of here.
Stat. What is the diagnostic done, or is it still running?
There appears to be some sort of glitch in the system, which is continuing, preventing it from switching out of a diagnostic mode.
Okay, I'll just call that up to the captain. We're still in some kind of diagnostic mode. It's a glitch.
We'll take care of it in a moment. Get us back on the river.
Got it. River priority.
Yep, and she'll just look over to Justice. Justice, I will. No, out of character, when I hesitate, I am spazzing a little bit. Take a deep breath. Justice, start evasive maneuvers.
That's fair. I'll try to get us out of here. So let's see. Whilst doing that, gonna change this very quickly. Melnyuk looks there and says, "Alright, I'm going to try and compensate here. It looks like we have some sort of fault in the, we have some kind of fault in the visual display system. Must be some sort of other computer glitch of some sort. I'm going to try and clear up our visual here, and we'll get this operational."
Do we have any communications? Any hails or signals? She looks over to communications.
There's some sort of signal coming from them, but I'm afraid I can't quite decipher what it is.
Keep it on a separate server and decipher it the quickest possible.
I'm working as fast as I can. I'm sorry. It's just I can't make heads or tails of it. It's as if something scrambled. I don't know if it's our system or if it's a problem with theirs. What I wouldn't give for Mr. Crichton here right now. And at this point, I am going to, let's see, I'm going to have Melnyuk give us a quick roll just to see if she can straighten something out. So let's see, that'll be, call this reason plus science. I'll make it engineering for her to try and filter this out. And her diagnostic procedure diagnostic procedure focus should help. No, I'll give it to you. I will let you succeed at a cost here. I think I've got the visual straightened out here, Captain. Okay. Working that out, I've got a visual profile. Vessel appears. It looks to be Suliban. Sheara, on the visual ahead, you see what appears to be a large, or one of their larger vessels. One that the tactical profile has told you has been common to use of the Suliban Cabal back when they were more active. And just as it is appearing on the screen ahead of you, a beam lances out and hits the Aegis. There's a momentary illumination of the panels before a sudden electrical pulse from every beam, from every computer console, from every bulkhead begins to overtake the ship. It begins to overtake everyone on board. At once you feel that vivid sensation again. The vivid sensation of shock. The limbs rendered rigid. even as fibers burn and skin melts. The scream of every neuron in your body crying out, the uneven swirl around your antennae, and the pained gasp which can no longer escape your lungs. You are joined in this dreadful circumstance by everyone else on the crew as they struggle against this sudden emission. There's a rumbling within the ship as sparks begin to fly, plasma conduits give out, and you are overtaken by a great white light. Sheara, you awaken. Albeit under much protest from your body, your quarters are at low illumination, and the stars streak outside your window. A quick look around the room finds you alone in your quarters at their comfortable cool temperature, although you appear to have broken out in a sweat. The ship's chronometer reads 10:30 hours, well past your alarms. Although you are not on duty, you know that it is later than you wanted to get up. But you know so vividly that that this time is precious, for some sort of disaster is impending. And that is where we are going to end today's session. So, the worse yet, I have noticed that next time we are going to have a complication added on top of this. I think I know how I'll spend that. Thank you, Joe. Mr. Overland Gamer from the Broken Sword.
Yeah, well, we remember.
That's going in the memory.
Yep.
There are no words in Elvish, Entish, or the tongues of man for such treachery!
Yep. And we got a little bit of a Rick roll in there as well, just for bonus in the chat. But yes, we'll sort out those grievances, and more importantly, this time loop that you are now in, next time. So, for those of you joining us in the recording, we hope that you enjoyed the session here. We will come back to this next week, and until then, we hope you enjoy the archive. If you ever want to join us live, we run this stream 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So we hope you drop in. Till then, you have a good rest of your day.